Hello everyone, Fiona Whitten from Oakville Crafts here, and today I'm going to share with you this year being 2023, Sale-A-Bration. Now, because Sale-A-Bration doesn't start until tomorrow, which is the 5th of January, I still can't share the inside of this catalogue. But I have a few things to share with you and a few samples to share, and also I will be making a card in a minute or two. So this is, as I said, so this is my Sale-A-Bration special. Once it goes live tomorrow, then I will be able to post all the links so that you will be able to see and find and download or order the catalogues for yourself. But as I said, at the moment, sadly, this has to remain closed. So I can show you the front and I can show you the back, but that is it. So I do have a few of the Sale-A-Bration items. There are as per previous years, there are three ways you can earn some free stuff. First off is to purchase some Stampin' Up supplies if you're in need of cardstock, glue, things like that, anything that you need to stock up on, or if of course you've fallen in love with one of the new stamp sets. For every £45 purchase, that excludes P&P, you are able to choose one of the 7 options that are available for a £45 spend. As I said, there are 7. There are 4 stamp sets and there are 3 different packs of paper. I don't have everything, so these are 2 of the stamp sets. So there's the adorable owls, which are very sweet, and I have to admit these 2 I have not played with yet because I only got them the other day. And then there's also a thanks a bunch, and I think actually, you know what, I can be really naughty. Oh, there you go, look, there's a you can actually see there, that's one of the ideas that they have, that Stampin' Up have made and put on the catalogue. So I've not opened it, but you can see that particular one. So I've been good. So those are 2 out of the 4 stamp sets. I do have 2 out of the 3 sets of paper. Those of you who subscribe to my weekly newsletter will have seen a couple of cards that I've made using this paper. So the paper is called Dainty Flowers. It's a full pack of 12 by 12 paper. So you get 12 sheets, 2 each of these double-sided pages, and I'll show them to you briefly. So as you can see, there are lots of flowers. So we have ones that are sort of, looks like a bit like a meadow. So a lot of these are meadow flowers. So we have the smaller flowers, and then on the reverse side, which I believe is Blushing Bride, we have some more flowers and things, and hopefully you can see those. We then have, similar to the first one, but this is all in rich raspberry flowers, an old olive and mossy meadow. And then on the reverse side, I want to say it's Orchid Oasis, but it might not be. Well, it's definitely not Fresh Freesia, but actually, thinking about it now, looking at it, I think it's Starry Sky. So that's Starry Sky. Wrong way around, but hey. We have some greenery. Now, of course, you can use this as a focal point, or if you're really, really brave, you can fussy cut some of these out. Now, there is a stamp set, a bundle in the new mini catalogue that coordinates with this. I don't have it, so I can't categorically say that the dies will fit these. It's something on my list, So I think that might be on my order for tomorrow. But anyway, so that's the greenery. And then on the other side, we have fresh freesia. Now, this was the paper that I used last weekend for my projects. I actually used one of the ovals, and one of these things. So you can cut these out individually. So you can make 8 cards from this, depending on how you want to use them. And I like these because you can just simply stamp sentiments in. I actually used this oval as a landscape card. I think it was designed to be portrait. I could be wrong, but I used it as landscape. I figured I could get away with these ones sort of going sideways. And I just stamped my sentiment on here. In fact, actually, I'll just show you. So this was my newsletter card from last weekend. So it was very, very simple. I simply stamped Let's Celebrate You in the middle of it, cut out that piece, and then I layered it onto some rich raspberry cardstock, which you can't really see very well, but it has an embossed effect. And then this piece here was the piece that I just showed you, which is the spotty one, and then it all just sits on some rich raspberry with a fresh freesia bow. And then I just used the same paper again to put on the inside. So it's very, very quick, easy card. And you can add as many layers as you want, or you can detract from the layers. It's really up to you. So that was one that I shared. And then the other one was a little bit more fancy, and you can see. So this is this particular image. And again, this is the embossed piece that I used on this first card as well. It's exactly the same, but you just don't see that much of it on this one. So this is a new embossing folder, which for the life of me I cannot remember what it's called. I know I've got one around, and I'll find it in a minute. I shared it. I think, yeah, I did share it with you last week when I was doing my stamping and creating then. So, but I will dig it out. These are some dies from the Sentimental Park bundle. And I used one of the other dies last week. When I was using this one, when I cut the flowers out, I realised that these flowers that are on the edge, they're actually cut across the middle here. You can see me running my nail underneath it. So I thought, oh, okay, so there's another die that you can use. So I cut out the other piece of paper and stamped on it, and then I tucked it underneath. So that's how I created that one, and then I stamped, and there was 2-step stamping on that. So there's that sheet, and then there's another sheet in the paper pack, which is top bottom. So you can simply cut across the middle and then cut it. So you can use strips, or you can just use it as a whole card front. Again, it's entirely up to you as to how you use it. And then on the other side we have similar to that, the reverse of the first. So this time we have some fronds and things and some flowers in old olive. And then we're going slightly larger. So this is this is that one. This was the first one that I showed you. So you can see the flowers on here are slightly larger than these. And again, it's really up to you. So I think if any of them are going to be die cut, it will be these ones. But as I said, I don't have the dies, so I've not been able to test it out for myself. But I will do. So that's one of the paper packs that is available as part of Sale-A-Bration. This is a second one, very dramatic colouring, as you can see. So there's a lot of black background here. And again, we've got rich raspberry. I think it's rich raspberry, so I have to go and get my my notes. So we have, oh no, it's Blackberry Bliss, Calypso Coral, Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, and Petal Pink. So these are very dramatic. I can't decide whether these are marigolds or peonies or a mixture, because I kind of looked at these and I thought peonies, and then I looked at these when they're a bit more open and I thought, oh, maybe they're marigolds. And then you look at these ones and you think, well, maybe that's a rose. So I don't think it really matters at the end of the day. As I said, they're very dramatic. I can think of lots of uses for these. And then on the other side, so if you don't like this side, I'm sure the paper on the other side you will like. So we have Mossy Meadow. So these are sort of rectangular grid. Blackberry Bliss. So these are all very geometric shapes. I think that's Mossy Meadow and Old Olive. Petal Pink. Fresh Freesia. And then this is Calypso Coral. So I think there's something for everyone in this pack, even if you don't like the large flowers. But let's face it, at the end of the day, it's free with a £45 spend. So I think that's a great choice. You can never have enough paper, let's face it. We're all, at the end of the day, we're paper crafters. And I don't know about you, but I'm definitely guilty of hoarding paper. In fact, that's one of my New Year's resolutions, is to try and use up all my paper that I have. And there is a lot of it. So in addition to the £45 spend, there are two choices when it comes to a £90 spend. Now, you don't actually have to go for the £90 choices. You can actually instead choose two of the £45 options, so it's really up to you. So there's one stamp set and there's one bumper pack of paper. So this is the Beautifully Happy stamp set, which I have used on a few projects. So you will have seen this being used. And it's a two-step stamping, photopolymer, and you can see the ones that I have been using a lot. And in fact, I don't think there's one on there. Maybe there's like two on there that I have not used. So it's two-step. Don't be fooled. The image is actually bigger than that because if you can see, it actually says on here that the images are at 85%. So that's one of the options. So I've pretty much covered the items that I do have in my stash. And I'm going to share whilst I talk about it. So as I said, there are three ways of getting items for free. So we have the shop, which, as I've already mentioned, you spend £45 or £90. Basically, it's a multiple of £45. So for each £45, you can choose an item. And you don't have to have all of the items. You can choose 3 or 4 of the same item if you want to. You're not limited to having one of everything. It's just it's your free choice. The other way of getting things for free is to host a party. Now, I say host very loosely. So if you have a group of crafting friends who you like to get together with, so you could use that as a party per se, and they want to order something. So of course they can get their free items for £45. I will simply give you a host code that you all use, and then you, as the person who've organised it, can then choose items using your stamping rewards. And also, if the total comes to £275 or more, then there is a free stamp set as well. So that's the second option. So as I said, you don't actually have to host. If you have a really, really, really large wish list and don't want to join, and I'll talk about that in a minute, then you can just basically put your own order in and get the free stamp set if it's more than 275. But I would suggest that you strongly think about the joining offer. It's always a good deal. Normally, if you're joining, then you get to choose £130 worth of items and you pay £99. During this celebration, that £130 worth is going up to a whopping £170, and you still only pay £99. So in effect, you're getting over £70 worth of items for free, £40 worth more than normal. But that's not just it. So that's just the straightforward offer. If you would like, you can, another option is you pay slightly more, but you get a Mini Cut and Emboss Machine. So if you don't know what one of those looks like, I have one here. So it's a little machine that you can use to die cut and to emboss. It comes with all the plates. These aren't all of them. These are just the ones that I have to hand. The plates themselves actually have the instructions of how to set it up to die cut and to emboss. So it's very easy to use. You simply just put all your, this is called a sandwich, and you just put that through the machine and just crank the handle and away it goes. So you can get one of these, or there will be, but I haven't heard yet as to whether it's actually arrived. There is a boho blue one, and boho blue is actually one of the new colours that will be available come the new catalogue in May. But they're bringing out this little mini machine just for celebration. So you have the choice of the boho blue or the white, and you still get to choose £170 worth of product. But instead of £99, it will cost you £125. So it's still a good deal. So in effect, you're still getting £70 worth of products for free. And instead of the Mini Cut and Emboss Machine costing you, let's see, what is it normally? Normally £59, you're effectively paying half price for it. So again, that is a good deal. So all of that will be up tomorrow on my blog and on my Facebook page, because as I said, at the moment I can't share the leaflets and stuff, but it is a really good deal. And of course you get to join the Acorns as well, so we have lots of fun. I just posted the earlier card that I made during our Acorns Monday craft and chat. So we get together. It's something that I started in lockdown so that we all stayed in touch and kept with our crafting mojo, because obviously, well, everybody knows, let's face it, at the end of the day, we were all stuck in lockdown and everything. So it was something we would do on a Monday morning, and I would set a challenge. Either I will dig out a sketch from somewhere, or I will say, okay, today we're going to make this, and I will give them the instructions. And we've carried on with that. So that's what we do on a Monday morning. It's free, it's on Zoom, so it doesn't matter where you are around the country, here in the UK or in Ireland. You can join in. It starts at 10:30. I'd like to say it's every Monday morning, but that doesn't always work. Some Mondays, believe it or not, I actually am a little bit busy. And then I don't always do it as well. Sometimes I think, I need a rest. So I ask for someone to basically step up and come up with an idea. And it can be simple, it could be complicated. Obviously, the more complicated it is, the longer it takes. But you know what? We all get there. Even if some of us are sitting there cursing at it sometimes, we do all finish. So it's good fun. But anyway, I digress. So I'm going to do a little bit of stamping and creating, and I couldn't quite figure out what I was going to do. And quite frankly, I still can't figure out what I'm going to do. But I will be using, she says, I've got to go find it now. I'm going to mix some of this paper. Now, which one do I want to use? I'm actually going to use this. I'm going to use this one because I just want to show you just how simple it is to make some really quick cards with this. And I'm hoping, what time is it? Yeah, we're 20 minutes in, so I've got another 20 minutes. So I'm going to aim to make 2 cards, so we're going to see how it goes. So I've got a sheet of A4 rich raspberry, which I've cut in half. So this now measures 14.9 by 21. So I'm just going to turn it, and I am going to score it at 10.5. And this basically will make my card base. In fact, so that's one. And then I'm going to make a second one from the other half. So I'll get 2 cards out of the one sheet. We all like that. Use the cardstock sensibly. So I've got some petal pink, which I'm going to layer on. I think I'm going to make this so that it's 14.4. So when you're doing layers, you can actually get 4 out of the one sheet. So I've cut it at 14.4, and then I'm just going to turn it and cut it at 10. So in effect, this is then going to be 0.5 centimetre smaller than my card front. So when I add it to it, let's go that way, then I'll have a little border all the way around, like so. And hopefully you can see that. And that's my second one. So because that is, just say that was 10, so I want to cut my next layer at 9.5. And as I said, this is what I like about this paper, because I've still got all that, so I'm going to put that to one side. So it's going to be 9.5 by 13.9. Now I want to keep all the images as much as possible, so I'm going to make sure that I have that and just in effect cut off the top portion. So that is going to create a card that looks like that. Very simple, very quick. And then obviously I can then add a sentiment. So again, this one I'm going to cut at 13.9. So I've got this piece left, which it's small, but you know what, you could use it for a sentiment. And in fact, that's what I think I might do. Because I don't know if you've noticed that this is not like a straightforward, just plain white. It looks like sort of a canvas. So it looks like there's texture on it, although it is smooth. So I'm going to use that and that. So those are my 2 card bases. And then the next thing I'm going to need is some basic white to go on the inside. I don't know about you, but I really don't think I can write on that. And well, I can write on it, I don't think it'll be very legible. So I like to put white or vanilla, very vanilla, on the inside of my cards, just so that there's something then to write on. I'm just trying to find my basic white. Well, I've got one piece here. Let's see. What have we got? 14.4. Let's see. I'll definitely get one out of here. So 14.4 by 10. So that'll go on the inside. How I decorate it then is really up to me. So you can put a strip of the paper down. This piece that I said that I had cut off, normally I would sort of try and use some of it to go across the bottom, but it's not quite wide enough. So you can actually cut this down so that it's slightly smaller. Let's see, it was 9.5, no, 10. So let's go down to 9.5 by 13.9. like so. Then I know that that will fit across the bottom. Now it's too wide. I only want a small piece anyway. So how wide is it? It's not quite 3. So if I cut it at 1, like so, that gives me a little bit to put across the bottom there. So as I said, I'm trying to make everything sort of last and eke it out so that it fits everything. So let's just finish this card off. I'm going to get my multi-purpose glue. I like using this because it gives me some wiggle room. I know a lot of people like using the tear and tape, but that's very much a case of once it's down, that's it. It ain't going anywhere. Whereas at least with this, I can move it around so that I have it sitting where I want it to be, like that. So that's going to go inside my card. Like so. So it just means that I've got a slightly larger border around this piece of basic white that's now on the inside of the card. But I have managed to then use that other small piece completely. So I've got enough still to stamp a sentiment on, put that across, and as I said, I've already put that other piece in the middle. So there's that. Now I need to find a sentiment, and I did have a stamp set. So I did grab Something Fancy stamp set, which is one of the ones that is a new one that is in the new mini catalogue. So I just need something that I can just simply stamp directly onto this. And the nice thing about this, I know it's 100% because it doesn't say that it's anything else. So just simply by placing this on top, you can figure out which sentiment will work. So a lot of them, so you matter to so many, deepest sympathy, grateful for the everyday magic of you. Happy birthday and congratulations. I think I'm just going to stick to happy birthday. I've got quite a few birthdays coming up. Now you can tell which ones I've used because they don't have any backing on them. So this is the happy birthday there. So when you get a stamp set, you just simply take it out of the, especially if it's red rubber, you have to take it out. If it's clear, then it's just on a clear plastic sheet. And then if you want to put the backing on it so you know what that stamp says, it's a question of finding it on the sticker sheet, and you'll find that each stamp, actually the backing comes in 2 bits. Don't know if you can see, if I spread that like that, then you can see that there is 2 pieces. I just took the 2 pieces off this one, and then it's simply a question of, first of all, taking off the backing off the stamp. I've had a few people say to me, it doesn't stick, and then it's like, oh yeah, you need to take that off. And then you're just going to line it up with the hole that's created by taking the backing off, and that's it. Like so. Right. So I'm going to use that. I need a block. Don't need a massive one. Don't need that one, for example. That's one thing you don't need to do, is to put small stamps on large blocks. I think that one will fit quite nicely. So I'm just going to use that. And I think I will use, so I can use whichever colour that I like, as long as I have it in front of me. So I don't have it in front of me, then I will not be using it. So I think I might use some rich raspberry. Now this is one of those colours that can get everywhere, be warned. Now I don't need to worry about which way up this needs to go because at the moment I haven't stuck it on. So it's a question of just tap, tap, tap. If you're not sure about how it's going to stamp, just simply stamp on your scrap paper. And then you kind of have to hope that you can get it in the middle and also straight, she says. Let's see what happens. Hopefully that's okay. Oh, pretty good. Right. That's that. Quick, simple. Right, where's my card? It's here. So you could just leave that like that and stick it on, or you could layer it with some more rich raspberry cardstock. So you would need to measure this to see how much you would need. I'm trying to see if I've got a, oh no, that's, I nearly cut into my other base card then thinking it was a scrap, but it's not. What other colour could I use? So we have what's that yellow? No, maybe we'll need some more of this. I have some scrap of that. There we go. So maybe we'll use this again. Now let's see. Quick measurement. And I tend to work in centimetres. And this is where your trimmer comes in handy. So as long as you line it up with like the centre. So I know that this is 1.8 by, and it should be 9.5. Now, depending on where you want it to go on the card, if you want it to go straight like that, then it might be worth just cutting it so that it's 9.5 and that width. So what did I say? It was 1.8. So let's go for, let's see, I'm going to go to the, we'll go to the top, trying to see what you can see. So I've got it going, video going to the side. I just need to move that ink out the way because otherwise I'm going to end up with it all over the pink. So I'm just going to get slightly over 2. And we can check to see whether we like it like that. So I'll just give it a thin border. So that's quite nice. It's not going to detract away from it. Measure again, so 9.5. So I'm going to cut that to 9.5. Like so, and that's just a simple case of putting it all together. So I'm going to glue, again, good old multi-purpose glue. Glue this to the petal pink panel. Try and ensure that I have a border all the way around that is equal. I'm just going to glue this direct to the card front. Again with more glue. And again I want to try and make sure that there's an equal border all the way around. Like so. And I'm going to glue this here. I don't need to worry about the ends, it's just the top and bottom that I need to try and make sure that I have an equal border. And it's not going to be a huge border. I just want something there. And then we're going to put that across the bottom, and it's up to you really as to whether you want it right at the bottom, in the middle. I think I'm just going to put it there. So it's about a third of the way up. And I'm going to use some dimensionals for that. I'll just grab some of those. Like so. So I was just going to put it under that flower there, didn't I? So there we go. And then add some embellishments. What do I have to hand? Let's grab. Pardon me for just leaning over and grabbing. So I've got some milky dots, and I should have some rhinestones. Yep, not many left, but hey, that's okay. You can just add some rhinestones, I think, or you could add some basic white twine. That would look sweet on it. I can't. Where's my takey pick tool? I know it's around. I'm going to use my scissors. Just need to get under the rhinestone for that. So I'll put one here. So my happy birthday is not quite in the middle, but oh well. One here. And then we can put some more on if we want to, just randomly. Different colours, different places, different sizes. Let's see, let's put one up here, I think. Got 5 on, so I'm quite happy. I always like to have my odd numbers. So that's my first card. So as you can see, quick, simple, really just cutting paper, a little bit, very small bit of stamping, and then decorating the inside. And then it's up to you as to whether you want to. You can use some more paper to decorate an envelope, or you could stamp an envelope. It's really up to you. So that's my first card. And then the second one, again, we're going to use what we already have. So we have this and that. Now I could stamp directly onto here, but it's not really. If I had wanted to do that, maybe I would have actually had more of an open space here and cut it here rather than up there. But heck, it's what it is. But I think what I'm actually going to do, so this stamp set, Something Fancy, actually has dies. And let's see now. They come in various disguises. So we have, and they layer too, which is really nice. So we have this shape, and there's 2 of those. So I could use that. There are this shape, and there are 3 of those. There are 2 of these, more like a tag. And again, they layer. There's a hexagon, which I actually do quite like that, because you could put that up there quite happily, or there. So I might use the hexagon. And then in addition, there's like a banner that can be used. And then there are these 3 little dies. So that one's got like a little tear shape. This one has a little flower and some leaves. And then this one has, she says, I'm trying to get it off here. See, I've not used that one. So that's got looks like little leaves and a branch. And those are designed so that you can fit them into ends of these to make some very, very cute tags. So this is one that I made for Acorns when we did a get-together beginning of December. So I used this one here and die cut the pink, and then we just also got some scrap old olive and die cut the leaves again, and we just simply put them in, and then the rich raspberry underneath, that one just shows through. So it's just another way of for using these. So they're very sweet, but I am not going to do that. I am just going to use the hexagon, I think. So this one was made up of these two, and I said that, the leaf and flower. So let's just move that out the way. So I got a hexagon. Whoops, nearly lost that one. Don't want to do that. Now there's nothing wrong with stamping on coloured cardstock rather than white. You just need to make sure that when you stamp, you use a colour that is darker. I mean, I could use petal pink on here and it will show as a tone on tone, but it's not a very dark colour. So I'm going to use the rich raspberry, and then I actually need to choose my sentiment again. So it needs to be something that will fit within that hexagon. Oops. I'm fighting here with the dies. So the thank you I think would go in quite nicely. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to stamp that on there. Like so. Now the thing you need to decide is whether or not you want your hexagon to go with your flat top and bottom, or the flat side to side. At the moment I'm not too worried. I will sort that out in a minute. So you just need to make sure you get a nice clean stamped image. Now this will not go through my Stampin' Cut machine like that because it's just too big. So I'm just going to trim that down. And then look at this. So I just want to decide whether I want that to be flat like that or whether I want it like that. And I think I'm going to go that way because then I know I can add an embellishment top and bottom. So I'm going to bring back my machine. So as I said, this is the mini machine that you can get effectively for half price as part of your joining kit. It doesn't have a metallic plate, so I want to make sure that my my die is not going to go walkabouts when I put this through the machine. So I'm just going to, I've got some old Stampin' Up washi tape. It's one of the things that I never sell on, isn't it? Because this always comes in handy. So I just need to make sure that the die is where I want it to be and hold it down with a bit of the washi tape. And then I'm going to run it through the machine just to take that out first. Like so. Run that through. Like that. And then I just need to take that off. So I've now got a little thank you that I can put on my card. Now I could cut out one in white. And this is something I do quite a lot in class and things because it's just a quick and easy way of making a focal point stand out a little bit more. So I'm just going to cut a basic white one of these. Now I don't need to worry about whether or not it's going to stay central around a sentiment because there isn't one. So that's fairly straightforward. Let's just move that out the way. Put it on the floor. Because I know it's not going to go any further there. Oops. Extra plate that I don't want. And then what you can do is if you layer it underneath, you can have it so that it just... In fact, you can even go sideways thinking about it. It's really up to you as to how much you want. actually I've decided that I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to keep to the pink. But if you cut this in half, and I will show you. We want that way. So we want to cut it in half that way. You can layer it like the top and the bottom. But you might have to trim it, which is not necessarily a good thing. So, hey ho. Right, so I'm going to put that on there. So again, I'm just simply going to glue all this together. So we're going to glue the panel of the Sale-A-Bration paper to the panel of cardstock, like so. Glue that to the card front. Alright, oops, now I need to make sure that I got this the right way around. That way. There we go. So then all I need to decide is whether or not I want to put this top, bottom, actually I do quite like it in that bottom corner, and then you can see all of the flowers further up. Now I'm not going to glue that on. Again, I'm going to use some dimensionals, except not those ones, because I have put the larger ones underneath something as always. Here we go, found them. Mixer change. The one thing I'm usually running around trying to find is dimensionals and put them down and they just disappear behind something or under something, more to the point. I'm just going to put that one here, like so. I've got a bit of I might need to change my blades in my trimmer because it's gone a little bit furry. It's not a good look, so I'll just trim that with my paper snips. And then I'm going to add some, they're not the same size, are they? But hey, so maybe let's add something else. So these are milky dots, which are in the new mini catalogue. So I'll use some of these. So these are there's different colours. So you've got like a white clear, this is a pink, blue and a gold colour. So I think I'm just going to stick to this. Oh, I'm just going to pick off and put on like, well, I might go for a larger one and put that one on here. Let's see, put a large one there, or even here. These you can move around as long as you haven't pushed them down. Once you've kind of put them on and pushed them down, then you're stuck really. Actually, that's not, I will put a smaller one on, like so. What's that? Where was that large one that I had? I'm going to put that up here, there. And the other thing is, if you try not to spend too long putting them on, because the more you think about it, the longer you'll be at it, quite frankly, because it'll never be in the right place. So I've got 4 on, so I need to put another one on. Let's put the 5th one up there. Right, so that's it. So I need to finish my inside, which means another piece of basic white or a lighter colour. It's not going to work. That's an envelope. So I do have some. I thought I had brought it over, but obviously not. So I'll finish this off rather than keep you hanging here whilst I'm wandering around trying to find some more of my cardstock, which I really had thought I'd got it, but hey, obviously not. So those are the 2 cards from today. So as I said, very simple. Simply using that whole sheet. Well, I haven't used a whole sheet, but I've used the sheet that has the images top and bottom, and it's just simply a case of cutting a strip and then cutting it into 2 and gluing it onto your card front. So those are those. I hope you've enjoyed seeing that. As I said, celebration starts tomorrow. So you can shop, join, host to your heart's content starting tomorrow morning. And both the celebration and the links for the celebration and the mini catalogue will be going up on my Facebook page and on my blog. If you would prefer to have a paper copy, quite happy to send you one. If you just drop me a line, and I would ask that if you are a demonstrator or if you already have a demonstrator, then please could you ask them for a copy. I don't like to encourage people to change demonstrators, so I don't want to be pinching you from someone else. So please ask your current demonstrator for a copy. But if you don't have one, I am more than happy to send you one. So you just send me a message, and obviously I will need your address at some point if I'm going to get it in the post to you. So thank you very much for watching. Let's see, next week is the 11th, so it'll be another Stampin' and Creating. And then obviously I can share the whole of the contents then of the catalogue and the celebration catalogue, which will be fun. But I will concentrate on just one thing rather than trying to play with too many things. So have a good week, and I hope you get to check in next week. Bye.